Well, hello again, cartoon airplane collectors. We got another Topgun Chen. Here's the packaging. A lot of different models made by this person. Man, big collections every year, it seems. They're 3D printed. They're handmade, pretty much. You can get them off eBay. So nice foam here. I paid for some pilots as well. You can buy these as raw model kits and paint them yourself. Save a lot of money. But I don't have the patience to do so if I have the option to buy a finished one. Okay, so the J15S, known as the Flying Shark, or codenamed by NATO as the Flanker 2, is an all-weather twin-engined aircraft carrier-based 4.5 generation airplane, of course. It made its maiden flight in 2012. It was introduced in 2013, and 60 of them have been made. It has a length of 22 meters plus, wingspan almost 15 meters, and a combat range of around 1,270 kilometers. And then the story behind it is SAC, manufacturer in China, acquired a prototype to the Russian Su-33. So they bought that prototype and then they reverse engineered it and made this. So it looks very similar to a Su-33, but it's actually better because there's more composites in this and better electronics. Being lighter weight, it has a slower landing speed, which is good for landing on an aircraft carrier. So it's actually better than the Russian design, supposedly. I don't know for sure, of course. It's just Wikipedia stuff. And it has a 30mm cannon there, and then a bunch of hard points to mount weapons, which we will get into a little later. But I might as well open this bag now. Same with the pilots. Alright, let's see. The wingspan of this, in its open form, is roughly around 11.5 centimeters or 4.5 inches. But you'll see there's literally hinges, metal hinges, for these wings to fold up. We'll get to that later. So let's start from this view here. Yeah, painted gunmetal or whatever for the heat shielding of this machine gun. I do feel it could have been painted better, like there just wasn't enough coats. So that's unfortunate. A little bump for the machine gun, there's a little recess in there. Oops, sorry if I'm moving the camera around. Historically, these things would come off, and it does. So there's two magnets, two locator pegs, and then some sort of radar assembly, I assume, up front, but I don't know for sure. Not sure what this dome is here, but it is painted, I guess, silver on the front, and the rest of the plane is like a light gray. I guess now's a good time to get into the cockpit. So only two magnets in the rear of the cockpit, painted black on the inside to help light from getting through that grayness. Alright, so that's good. Two paint efforts. It's relatively clear, which is really good for a 3D printed part. Alright, so you can clearly see we have a bunch of decal work here in there. Let's see. Yeah, a glass cockpit, right? The flight stick has a little red on the top of it, and then the sides of the seats have some decals for more controls. Two magnets back here. Alright, it's got the little sight windows. Very neat. Very cool. Alright, so I guess now it's also a good time to get into the pilots. Yeah, I'd rather pay to have them painted. I have too many other models that I'm working on right now, painting and all that stuff. So, green jumpsuit, a lighter green set of harness action, white gloves. The magnetic head allows you to rotate it around. Flesh tone, the mask is gray, a really shiny black visor, black shoes, the blue helmet, some round air vents maybe? I don't know why those holes would be up there. And then some sort of silver thing in the middle, maybe to probably move the visor up and down if I had to guess. So they're identical, but no, wait, I'm mistaken. This one has no decal on this arm, but this one does. So I don't know if that was an oversight. Yeah, I feel like it was an oversight. Someone forgot to put a decal on that. Alright. Well, anyways, it's still pretty nice. The little black ridging around the helmet is nicely done. It takes a lot of time and patience to paint the little things. You could actually probably take this visor and mask off. there's a face back there, but well, you know what? Maybe I will have one with the visor removed. Some sort of soft, stretchy silicone-like glue. Yeah, this guy's kind of happy. I'm a little curious what the other guy looks like. So the glue goes back. All right. Let's see if we can find a funny face under here. That guy's just really happy, and it looks like the decal. No, it's on there, but it feels like looks like it's gonna come off. So I think I'll stick with the other one, with the face open. So some sort of residual glue I gotta get off there. It's really tacky. It's like softer than silicone. Okay. Alright, just so we have a little variation. A person with the visor down, a person with the visor up. So, I suppose... No, maybe I'll have the open face up top. I think I might need some poster putty. It's awfully big cockpit here, so I figure it's just moving around. Well, maybe it locks in place. So you notice the hand is actually pretty near the flight stick. The back has to be a certain distance away from the seat because the helmet takes up space. See? Alright, so cool guy just looking at you that way. Let's see about this one. Trying to get around that flight stick. Tweezers. That's a tight fit. I don't know what. Well, that dude is definitely in there. I guess that's good. Alright, so two different appearances. Then the magnetic cockpit. There we go. Very neat. Very cool. You know, I'm gonna just jam this in there because that thing will get lost. Maybe down there. Oh, figures. It's glue. Alright, it's pretty much vanished now. So you can have a little storage. Alright, very cool. So the side of this thing, I'm not sure why there's a little black vent here, but there is. Number 28. Some sort of maybe ejection seat warning symbols. Some Chinese text, of course. I can't make out. Leave a comment if you know what that says. Then an actual shark logo. And the Chinese Air Force there. These angle things are for the rear stabilizers. And it has this tab here, so it's kind of in the landing position there. But if you want to make it in flight mode, you can just... Oh, I see. Wow, my other one, I don't know if it had that. I'll have to look later, but that's cool. So you can actually have it in flight mode and then extend it out, and it's still, you know, it's getting hidden inside this little tiny channel. Very cool. I have another SU, or J11 I think it was, and I don't remember if it had those channels, or it wasn't aligning properly, so I just clipped them off. Alright, very cool. Nice. Alright, so this side has a red marker. The top of these stabilizers are a different gray than the rest of it. The engines look awesome. There's like a black ring, gunmetal, a different shade of gunmetal, and then inside, wow, those are pretty deep engines. Yeah, you do have all that engine detail molded away in there, looking pretty sweet. A little different gray on the back tip of this thing. Some sort of little bump sticking out. Not sure why. It's on both sides. Then there's like an aluminum color around here as well. And then these little rectangles have green on them. No idea as to why. All these hatch details are nice. This like air brake thing, it looks like it's a separate piece. And it does look like it's moving. Oh boy, I thought I just broke it, but no, I didn't, thankfully. Look at this, it's this little silver piston. It's glued down, I see. I guess if you wanted to, you could. It's supposed to rest in that circle there. So if you want to have it in landing or something, but I'm just gonna leave it closed. Alright. What else is on here? I'm not sure why there's a bunch of black boxes there, but there are. Okay, I guess bottom time. We have the hook here that would grab a cable on the aircraft carrier. And it's a crazy hazardous orange color with some black stripes of a decal, that is. And it does pivot, so I guess that's nice. There's a little bit of this sticky glue here to keep it up there if you want, but it's still, it works actually, the glue. 3mm stand hole there. And then what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hard points to mount various ordnance to. Then we have this recess for the landing gear. And then this magnet and that magnet there for the rear landing gear. Alright, and a little front canards look nice. There's literally a metal thumbtack here for the nose. The flaps are down. Yeah, I see. So it's almost like it's landing or something. Flaps down mode. There's a little silver now I'm noticing on this leading edge. It's a decal actually. I would have guessed that would have been painted, but no. There's even a little bit of the Air Force flag underneath there. Oh, these are actually air gapped. Interesting. The pylons there. Alright, well, I guess that's the outside. I don't think oh, well, the front intakes. Can we see anything? Pretty deep, but look at that. There's actually an engine thing. It's just that it's not painted silver. So that's unfortunate. Would have been cool if those were painted like a metallic color. Interesting, there's holes there. I wonder if that's to let like resin out or something. I don't know. Or maybe that's, I'm not sure, but there's a little air gap here. A lot of fine details. Pretty thin walls of this engine nacelle. And these are pretty thin as well. Stands nicely like a tripod. Let's see. Oh, I see. Yeah, folded up mode. We'll do that when we put the landing gear on. I guess first we should put on some armor and, well, I guess maybe landing gear first does make sense. It seems like there's no flight mode cover for this area, which is kind of odd to me. I think it would have made sense. But there's no magnet in here, so I guess, yeah, unless there's a magnet in there and also in the cover, it can't be done. So anyways, the front landing gear does look nice. There's a lot of detail molded or 3D modeled. The wheel though is just a decal, so be mindful of that. Don't scratch at it, it'll come off. There's even a decal on the inside of this cover, which is cool. There's a little silver, green, and red for the lights of this thing. Yeah, nicely done. So instinctively, you probably want to do that, right? But it's not that way, because there's a magnet here, and it's supposed to go this way. You want to align the hatch with the opening, and that magnet's what's keeping it from spinning. So that's actually pretty interesting. The rear landing gear. So yeah, this gray color. Wheel doesn't spin. Decal there. Oh boy, that's scary. Hope that doesn't come off. Then the inside is painted reddish, and there's a magnet here and a magnet on the top. So is it this way? Yes, it's probably that way. Okay, so this one here. There's a missile attached. Very cool. They just snap into place. Looking good. Alright, so a little small air-to-air missiles, it looks like. I have no idea what they're called. There's a little extra 3D printed plastic stuff on it though. Yeah, so you can see these little extra bits. So you might want to take some hobby nippers and just trim those off. You could also use obviously a sandpaper, but it seems to be painted in white plastic, so even though I'm cutting it off, it doesn't look too bad because it's already white. But it is painted white. You see the magnets are covered in paint. There's a little silver on the tips there. So that's a pretty thin missile. There's another one. And then we have these larger types of missiles. They look like Mavericks or Sparrows, right? And then we got these crazy giant gray ones. They almost look like rockets going into space. It's like a center tube with four other what look like missiles attached to it. I don't know the logic behind that, but it's definitely pretty cool looking. It's really weird. Why would you do that? Why would you design something so complex if it's meant to destroy something and destroy itself? But anyways, it's painted nice, light gray and a really dark gray tip. It's hollow back there. Yeah, so there's two of those. And then we have these two giant missiles here, which, oh, they have some, maybe these are cruise missiles because they literally have a ram intake. So I'm assuming these are cruise missiles of some sort. Very neat. So I guess I'm going to put mega missiles here on these pylons. Where's the magnets? I gotta find the magnets. Okay. Boy, there's one spot in the middle and then four out here. So unfortunately, there's no like fuel tank or something that might want to go in there. Anyways. So you can obviously rearrange these as you see fit, but I like to put the smaller things outside just for, I guess, the mass. I suppose it makes sense to keep the lighter things as far away instead of heavy things on the outside. Come on, cruise missile, get in there. All right. There we go. So yeah, it would have been cool if there was one other piece to put here. Maybe I'll scavenge one from a different airplane. So there it is, all loaded out. I really do wish it had a flight mode, like a little cover for that. So I'm going to take these off and put them on a peg stand for flight mode anyways. So here's my 3D printed stand. That hole's a little tight. Maybe some paint got in there. I got a 3mm drill bit here. Just chase it out a little bit. All right. That looks pretty neat. You really can't see that that recess anyways from a normal angle. I suppose you could go and add some black paint or dark paint in the back end of all those projectiles. It looks a little weird to have such big missiles down here. Let me swap them out. Yeah, I think I like this arrangement better. Just having small missiles on the bottom of that thing. Or really, you could just have none at all because those pylons don't stick out too much. Alright, well, that's good enough for that. Let's get rid of this light here. And let's try good old landing aircraft carrier mode. So we're going to try to fold the wings up basically. Which might require me, well, do I need to remove the weapons? I don't know if that thing is stuck with paint or glue. It's not moving freely. I feel like it might make sense if I remove these. doesn't want to go. Oh, wait, there we go. So there might be a little bit of clear coat or something, you know, sticking. So just be careful. I held it here so it doesn't just, you know, I'm trying to keep the force right around the rotation point with my thumb. So that works fine. And then I guess you wouldn't have a bunch of missiles on it anyways in that instance. Or would you? Maybe you would, I don't know. That one closed up nicely. So we remove these, and then we have the folded version somewhere. This, maybe? Or do they fold upwards? I guess they have to fold upwards because they have that thing that goes in there. It's a real shame I cut them off my other airplane. I didn't realize those holes again. I'll show you that airplane later. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Let me get the landing gear back on here. Oh, that's probably the wrong side anyways. That one. This one. Okay. A little Russian aircraft carrier thing. I guess going like that somehow. Taxing out. So I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, that looks pretty cool to me. I don't know if it would actually run, or I guess it would maybe taxi on the aircraft carrier with the missiles on. Would it? I don't know. I don't know if they would do that or not, if that's protocol. Well, if you're Chinese and you know, please leave a comment, or if you just know. Alright, anyways, I'm going to now try to fold these down with the missiles on. I'm noticing the wing tips, this one has a red marker on the tip, and the other side has a green marker. Alright, so that is doable, by the way. And then we'll just swap this out back to flight mode. So this one here. This one here. There are decals actually on the ends of these little wings as well. They're barely noticeable because they're like silver color, but they are there. Alright, so that looks good. We'll get back to that later. Let's do a little comparison to some other airplanes. So here's the other one where I wasn't paying attention, as usual. There actually are channels back in the back of these stabilizers, and I just didn't realize it. I could have easily probably just pushed them right in there, but instead I clipped off the piece of material, which is unfortunate. Well, I'm always going to display it in this orientation anyways, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. This one also didn't come with a cover, so I guess it's intentional to not have a cover for these things. Anyways, this one doesn't have the front canards. This is, I believe, the J15B or D, I already forget. I can't remember. You'll have to look up the review of Topgun Chen's to find out. This one's loaded with just 2 types of missiles, but a crazy amount of them. So you could swap, most likely, a missile from here to that pylon there. Yeah, alright. So that does work. So it's interesting. You know, I don't know the logic behind these planes, but this one's got the centered like dome here. This one is off to the side. What are these domes? What are they? This looks too small to be a radar assembly, but it's got some sort of purpose, right? So this is a single seater. There's a double seater available, I think, for both of these maybe. Well, definitely this one. I don't know if the carrier-based one comes as a single seater. Alright, and they're different grays. So again, you can paint these yourself. You can get raw model kits and save a lot of money, but not for me. Not for me. So that, when I reviewed it, I couldn't get that open. I'm pretty sure it must open just based off of this, but I'd rather display it down anyhow. And so the U.S. carrier-based fighter of the older days is the F-14. And let's see about this. Ugh, magnets. I guess you shouldn't just drag it around. Gonna overpower the magnets. They're actually similar in size. This one has the little fold-out wing thing that makes the F-14 so cool. Yeah, this is a Top Gun livery, so it's got Maverick and Goose in there. So very neat. I guess that's it for comparisons. Well, once again, another cool model. If you learned anything from this video, is don't cut stuff. Just take a few extra minutes, look around, wonder why the thing is designed the way it is. There's a purpose. I just am not very patient apparently, and I just like to cut stuff on my other models. So, okay, well, we'll see you around. Thanks for watching today. Bye.